Hey guys, Will here, and today I'm going to be doing a video on the iPhone 10 in 2024. So I think the iPhone 10 is still a pretty good option just because it's not a new phone, so it's going to be cheaper. Obviously, it isn't going to be as cheap as a lot of the home button based phones, but they are still pretty cheap. You can get a working iPhone 10 for around $100 if you can get a pretty good deal on one that's in good condition. The one that I'm showing is in pretty good condition. It does have a good amount of scratches and stuff on it, but there's no cracks on the front or back. The battery is in pretty bad condition. The maximum capacity is 72%, but you can get one with a bad battery and replace the battery for about $40 for a battery that comes with all the tools and stuff. And it's not too difficult to do. I'm going to go ahead and compare it to a few other budget phones as far as iPhones. So the first thing I'm going to compare it to is the iPhone SE, the 2020 model, just because that's what I have. I would honestly recommend a SE 2022 model, the SE3 if you want to call it that, just because it's a lot newer. It's basically an iPhone 13 inside of an iPhone 8 body. The 2020 SE is an iPhone 11 in an iPhone 8 body. So I would recommend, if you can get a third gen SE for cheap enough, I would definitely recommend to get one of those. But the second gen SE is still a pretty good option. It still gets updates, and it's probably going to get updates for another at least year or two. The iPhone 10 doesn't get updates anymore. And then the iPhone 7 doesn't get updates also. It's a year older than the iPhone 10, so it isn't going to get updates. It only went to iOS 15. The iPhone 10 only went to iOS 16. And the SE is still getting updates into iOS 18 as far as I know. And then the iPhone 6S also went to iOS 15 like the iPhone 7. So I would honestly recommend getting an SE. But if you do want a iPhone with a notch that doesn't have a home button, I would recommend to get either an iPhone 10 or honestly right now get either an iPhone 10R or a 10S or 10S Max or even an iPhone 11. You can get the iPhone 11s pretty cheap. You can get them like $200 brand new from like Walmart and other carriers that still support them. And I think you can get iPhone 12s even for about the same price. But the iPhone 10 is a lot nicer of a phone than like an iPhone 10R or 11 as far as the build quality, because it has the stainless steel sides and it just feels more like premium. But if you want a phone that's going to last a little bit longer, definitely get an iPhone 10R or iPhone 11. You can try to find like an 11 Pro or a 10S, 10S Max, anything like that, but they will go for a little bit more. I had an iPhone 11. I used it as my daily phone from 2019 to 2023, and it did pretty good. The only reason why it died is because the battery went bad, basically, and also the back was cracked because I dropped it while it was in a very thin case. And even though I continued to use a way better case, it still just kept on cracking because that's how glass is. But yeah, so if you're looking for a cheap notch phone, the iPhone 10 is still a great option. But if you are willing to spend a little bit of extra money, it may not even be that much extra for a 10R, but I know it'll be a little extra for an 11, but the 11 is just a lot, newer of a phone. Well, it's only 2 years newer, but it's a lot more modern, and it's still going to get updates for at least another year, hopefully another 2 or 3 years. And then if you don't really care about having the notch, you just want something that's an iPhone and is cheap and is going to last for multiple years, I would recommend to get either an SE 2020 or 2022. The SE 2022s tend to go for a little bit more, but they are worth it considering you're going to get at least 2 more years of updates. And then if you're just looking for an iPhone that can call and text basically, and you don't care that it's running pretty outdated software, you can get an iPhone 6S or 7 for like $50. You can get them even cheaper if you want like 16 gigs. You can get a 16 gig iPhone 6S for like probably $30. But yeah, I guess that's it for this video. So hope y'all enjoyed. If you please smash that like button. And if you're already subscribed, I'll see you next time. Bye.